Hi, everybody. Esther. Hello, everybody. This is your host, Regina Sagara Chavez, and your physician by choice. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about genetic expressions. A lot of people, they are confused between, when you have something genetic from your parents to you, or something that is related with your genetic expression, that the expression of the genes has changed. So basically that's what we're going to be talking about it. So we're going to give you some maybe symptoms, you can say, and for you to know if it's something going on with your genetics. So something that you have to worry about it, and in the long run we're going to be having some sort of problems with health. All right, so we're going to go ahead and talk about a few things to improve your health and well-being. Basically this is what it is, to do something before that you become cancerous, or become diabetic, or become something that you cannot reverse that easily. So this is what it is, like at the step one, before that you even go to major leagues. That's what I can say. Okay, first of all, weight gain and obesity. If you have weight gain and obesity, you're already having some problems with your genetics. Okay, so maybe you have some nutrients deficiencies like alpha lipoic acid, CoQ10, and maybe anthocyanins. So maybe you already deficiencies for certain nutrients, but also your genetics already start mutating when you have this extra weight. All right. The other one is when you have insomnia, or you waking too many times at night. So when you don't sleep very well, sometimes your genetics mutate as well. So that's why it's so easy when you say, "Oh, I have cancer out of the sudden." No, it's not as a sudden. You have things before. So that's what I say. Genetics, you don't come with bad genetics. You come with bad environment, with bad nutrition, with bad other stuff, but not genetics. The genetics is only 2% of the populations that have bad genetics. Anyways, so when you have insomnia, frequent waking, most likely you're deficient of B3 vitamin, polysaccharides, sorry, polysaccharides, and glycine, tryptophan, and D3. Remember, D3 is help you with immunity. Now, another thing that you have to concern about it, and also to the is mutating your genetics, is arthritis or ache, pains, and joints. All those things. So most of the time, when you are deficiency of copper, manganese, sulfur, DHA, EPA3, histidine, CoQ10, and valine. Sometimes I will add a little bit more magnesium as well, okay? Because magnesium is very needed when you are in pain. So you probably you are already mutating your genetics. So the other one is sore muscles and swollen joints. So when you have sore muscles and swollen joints, normally your genetics is already mutating as well. So you have to go ahead and add vitamin B5, B6, D3, lithium, DHA, serine, cysteine, chromium. Am I right? So when you have blood pressure, blood sugar spikes and crashes, most people are thinking that when you have a blood spikes of sugar is when you have already diabetes, but it's not. When you have, like eat a lot of sugar, and then you have a little crash, and you have a little wheezy, and you feel a little dizzy, or you feel like you're walking in there, because that happened to me when I eat so much sugar. I feel like after walking in the air. So that's the sugar is affecting you already. Okay, so when you have those kind of stuff, you have to go ahead and anthocyanins. Okay, so also too, right now this we eating so much sugar to the point where it's dangerous to us. It's not just about the what is it called, the blood sugar. It's about everything else. For instance, it can get you more wrinkles. It can give you mental problems too. Now they saying this sugar is more addictive even than drugs, because we also relate we have an emotional part of it, all right? So that's one thing. The other thing is the GI disorders and acid reflux, heartburn, indigestion, and all that stuff also too can affect you genetics. So you don't have to wait until you get really like cancer in the stomach in order for you to address something. You have to address it right now in order for you not to get there. All right. So what would you supplement if you wanted to you have some sort of problems with the GI? I will go with the B3, vitamin E, potassium, GLAD6, glutamine, A8, A6, and if you have constipation and diarrhea, potassium alpha lipoic acid. Those are the two things that you can add. If you have cravings, especially carbs and sugar, when I have a lot of mental work, I do get some of that. So when I do, so I have to go ahead and try to supplement with something, glutamine and tryptophan. A lot of times it's good to add some sort of fat. Sometimes it's good to eat like some coconut like oil, or maybe something with fat, but a good fat. Even olive oil is good. I don't know you guys know, but olive oil in the past they used to call it the liquid gold because it has a lot of good things for you, and it can help you out with a lot of stuff, and it's a good fat that you can go ahead and include it in your everyday life. All right. So if you have blurred vision, ala, if you have bruising, K1, K2, C flavonoids. Now I want to tell you something about drugs. Coumadin, if you are into Coumadin, there's a very common blood thinner. You are more prone to have bruisings. All right. So please be mindful if you are in Coumadin that you have to go ahead and have some bruising. If you have some bruisings, maybe something to do with that. All right. So be mindful of that. Headaches and migraines. If you have headaches and migraines, the first thing that will add to it, it will be water. Water is going to be the one that help you out a lot to improve migraines and headaches. But also too, you can add B3, B9, glycine, lysine. Okay, you have gas and bloating, food intolerance. Maybe you can get vitamin A, vitamin C, B6, B3. Itchy skin and scalp, like some sort of like rashes. You can do carotene, zinc, arginine, histidine, oleic, 9, olive oil, B6. Dry skin and oily skin, B2, zinc, ala, ilan, oleic. And thinning and bridal hair, calcium, selenium, Elon and Glad 6. Okay, this is some of the stuff that you can go ahead and add into your house. But also, too, my main concern here is if you have any of those symptoms, you're already touching your DNA. It's changing your DNA to the cellular level. And that's when it becomes dangerous. And that's what I always tell people. Diseases, they don't develop one to the next day. Diseases develop in years' time. Like, for instance, if you have diabetes, it didn't develop from one day to the next one. It was developed over years and years. The first symptom of diabetes, for instance, is when you're hungry and you don't have the food and you get upset because you don't have the food. So that's when you start having your insulin up and down. So if you have some sort of problems like that, you have to address it before that you become diabetic. Yeah, you can reverse any disease, but it takes longer and it's harder because your body is struggling to fight back whatever it has already. So it's harder. Like, for instance, I have some patients that they have 3, 4, 5 different things. Sometimes when you're dealing with this, affects the other stuff. Like, for instance, I have a patient, they have Crohn's disease, he has diabetes, he has he was having some mental issues and stuff. So everything combined, it was harder to treat it because when you move this way, this thing it changed. So, and sometimes even, for instance, myself, I tell a lot of people, I got diagnosed 3 years ago with asthma. And when I try to do few things, sometimes the asthma spike even worse because your body is already sensitive, is already in bad situation. Now, can I reverse it? Yes, I will be reversing it eventually. And I mean, I'm working out in that part of it, but it's harder When you are before you get to be sick, you can go ahead and do magic with your body. For instance, if you have any symptoms of you are pre-diabetic, or you have any symptoms that you already have difficulty to lose weight, difficulty that you have some energy, that you have some problems with your stomach, that you have certain problems with your health, little things, then you can start addressing it, and everything it will be back in time, in very short time. When my son got the autoimmune disorder, it took me about 3 years to reverse most of his condition. 3 years, and it was every single day, because the body takes longer to go back to homeostasis, because you have to do more work. So if you have any health problems that concerning, please, do something now. Reach out to somebody that knows and is qualified, because also too is a lot of people that they wake up one day and they say, oh, I know how to do this and I can go ahead and be the magical. But they'll remember, if you have health problems, your health is not a game. You have to go with a professional that knows, that has a license for a reason. They has years of schooling, they have years of treating other patients, and they know what is doing. So don't let your health to be a play thing. A lot of women, I can see that they have issues with weight gain. And the problem is here, they can go ahead and lose weight. Yeah, they can lose weight with anything, but sometimes they put a lot of stuff in their body that they can hurt in the long run. For instance, I have seen people that they use drugs, like no drugs in the street, but drugs that they provide by a physician, and then they can get hooked into the drugs. Then I have, I don't know, the history, but sometimes they got the parasite, that the teniasolium, and they used to do it, and then after they used to get rid of it. So you cannot harm yourself. Now, do it with somebody that knows, and do it with somebody that cares as well. So if you are interested in knowing a little bit more about my work, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy. Now, if you feel like that you have any concern about toxins, about if your bodies start already playing games with you that is not well, send me a link. I will send you a what is it called, an assessment for free, and you can take a look at it. You can see yourself where you're at. I always give people the toxic assessment, because in the toxicity, we all of us are toxic nowadays, because we live in this world. So if you have something like that you want to reach with me, please go ahead and do it. I'm happy to see you, and please reach out to me. And if you want to get a consultation, you can go to highperformancecare.com, and I'd be more than happy to go ahead and see you and treat you. All right. Thank you, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.